Okay, I'll be right.
I love just listening into the qualifying. It's so fucking funny. Everybody wrecking each other at the end. Oh, that's right. Gotta be in the game, dumbass. In the game. It's gonna take a hot second. Please tell me it didn't get that. If it did, that'd be hilarious. Oh, it totally got that. Yep, it totally got that. All right, well, welcome everybody to race number 5 here at Michigan for the Redline Racing Series. Getting ready to go here as I have the multi-time winner Mark McAtack in the booth here with me to give us the rundown of qualifying that just finished up.
All right, how are we doing, Walbridge, tonight?
Good.
Good. We've got race number 5 tonight, Michigan. Should be a good one. Got a 17-card field today, the most we've had this season, so very excited for that. I know it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the you-know-what for you, so, but I know you'll do a great job. So I'm going to do a quick rundown of the starting lineup, and then we're going to go ahead and go racing. So leading off on the pole is myself, the 22. Starting in second will be the 24 of Copenhagen. Third, we've got the 62 of Doing Work, who is also a new driver, making his debut tonight in the 62. Very happy to have him in the league, but he's rolling off third with a strong qualifying effort. Starting fourth will be the 78 of 19mm, and then rounding out the top 5 will be the 8 car of Band 1. Sixth, we got the 9 car Chief TP. Seventh, we got the 99 of Hootie Hoo. Rolling off 8th is going to be the 12 of Hoosier Boy. 9th, we got JRC Indy. And then rounding out the top 10, if I could find him, will be the 41 of Dog Pound. 11th, if I can find him, there we go, the 15 of Garf 38M. 12th, we got the 19 of Cole Trickle. See if I can find 13th. There he is. The 3 car of Slingshot Rodeo rolling off 13th. 14th, we got SDR J White in the 16. 15th, we got P. Fulton in the 18. And then 16th, we have the 77 of Danny MD. And then rolling off shotgun of the field will be the 5 car of Team 95 Motorsports. So, again, 17-car field. Very excited about that. It should be a good race. So
I was going to say, is this the largest field that's been in Redline?
We've had a couple of 18 cars, but just pretty darn close. But, anytime we've had this big of a field, we haven't had an issue in the race. So hopefully that'll be the case again tonight. So.
Perfect.
All right, man. Well, I'm going to hop out of here and get ready to go green. I'll send you a couple invites, and I will let you know when we're rolling.
Awesome.
All right, man. We'll see you after the race. Thank you, Walbridge.
Yes, sir.
All righty.
And there he goes, Mark McAtack out of the booth. And what a time to start going here. This one of the largest fields Redline seen in their 5 seasons. So we are in for a treat here tonight. And I'm not going to lie, when Mark McAtack was saying he was starting on the pole, I can't say I was not surprised. But a lot of guys actually are going to be looking to run through the field here. Jay White in the 16 running top 5 in points. Having a little bit of off night in the qualifying. So he's going to have a mighty hill to climb here with a bigger field. Means that his job just got a little bit harder. JRC Indy had a good run last week, finished top 3, starting 9th. Darv in 11th. He's had a good run last week. Slingshot Rodeo 13th. Danny MD 16th. He was doing a lot of top 5 running last week. So a lot of big names in this series are going to have to do some work here at Michigan. Luckily, Michigan's a track that you can make up time in. It's going to be a heavy drafting track, so you can make up the time. It's all about execution and what you can do on pit road to help also move up your position as well. So we'll see what these guys are able to do. Ban one, though, in the 8 car with a solid top 5 starting spot, though. That's good. Doing work. Running in the 62 car. Can't wait to see what he's got. As we are now 3 seconds from going green. We're going to accept the invite, and we're going to go with him. As the drivers load in. And here we go, going in. 100 laps here at Michigan. And with a 17-car field, this should go by in a flash, especially with me, because I'll have so many places. I got to watch the stream to make sure I get the lap counts. I got to run through the field to make sure I don't miss anybody, as there's going to be battles going on throughout this entire field. And now the drivers are all lined up. They hit the restart zone. We are underway at Michigan. Copenhagen, the 24, quick to jump to the bottom and get in line with the 22. We've seen these two have their fights. We saw it at New Hampshire. Copenhagen came out on top. There, will he do it here? The new guy, the 62, moving up, fighting throughout the back of the field. A hornet's nest behind the 38. That was the 41 a dog pound, drop into the tail end. He's going to play it safe. A big field means a high probability of some chaos and carnage. Everybody, though, driving fairly conservative to start it. Everybody giving each other room. And that means that we'll go back to the front here just to keep an eye on the fight for the lead, as everybody seems to be finding their line. That looks like the 78 of 19. Sticking in that 4th spot, catching the lead draft here. Or the leader's draft, I should say. Trying to close up to that top 4. Behind him, the 8 of Ban 1, the 9 of Chief. Chief pretty consistent in the top 5, especially in the last race. The struggle, finishing the race. He's having a good run right now. Now gets himself into the top 5. That is the 12 of Hoosier Boy, moving himself up into the 6th spot. Or at least trying to. He can't clear himself of the 8, and the 8's going to have the help of the 9's draft to help keep him alongside Hoosier. Now we'll see who's going to have the better 3 and 4. The 9 comes down with the 12. That's going to give the 12 the draft and the edge over the 9, or 8 of Ban 1. The 99 of Hootie Hoo. Going to try and come through and take away that 7th position. That is the one camera angle that I hate at this track. Sometimes it has a little bit of struggle keeping up as we go back to the front. Copenhagen almost got split 3 wide there. A lot of drivers getting aggressive. Only 4 laps completed. Look farther back through the field. The car in the grass. That is the 3 of Slingshot Rodeo. He is around single car incident. We stay green. The 19 of Cole Trickle trying to move up. That is the 15 of Garv ahead of him and just inside the top 10. This is the 11th position the 19's in. He's trying to move the 15 up to the 9th spot and move himself into the top 10. Underneath the 16 of Jay White. That is the 18 of Pushin' P. Fulton. Moving himself up into the 11th spot. The 5 of Team 95. Going to try and follow this inside train. He will. The 38 working with the 16. That's JRC Indy. Oh, contact. Enough room for both drivers to get away from each other as to not cause a crash on the backstretch. But look at the time lost. The 77 of MD moving up another position. Everybody in the back seems to have figured it out. Oh, the 24 gets shuffled out of line. Fortunate enough for him, he has enough time to get back to the bottom and back to the bumper of the 22 of Mark McAttack, who's led all 7 green flag laps so far, the 62 out of line. He might look to drop to the tail of this lead group, as this lead group of about 8 cars has separated themselves from the 15 of Garv, who leads that second group behind that you see off in the distance. They are trying to get themselves all organized and working together here. 38 and the 16 looking to rebound from their little altercation a couple of laps ago. Garv moving up very well from his starting spot as he started near the tail. He's now found himself not only inside the top 10 but running 8th and trying to catch that 62 to try and catch his draft and bring his group with him to help get these guys back to the leaders. Right now, everybody seems to have found their line, the one they're willing to stick with. Is Mark McAttack in the 24 of Copenhagen. These might be 2 cars we see together a lot this season. 2 key front runners. Copenhagen was not able to make it to the race last weekend. And now, speaking of last week, or not last weekend, sorry, last week. Let's run through the points. It's Mark McAttack, 2 wins on the year as your points leader. The 24 dips low. They're fighting behind them. And everybody seems to have settled it out. The 24 going to make his first green flag pit stop. Copenhagen looking to short pit the 22 and try and come out ahead. A couple of other cars already came down. The 62 of Doing Work. The 8 of Ban 1. I think that was the 18 of P. Fulton. Yes, it was, who's just coming off of pit road. The 99. Just coming off as well as the 22 looks to stay on track along with the rest of his group. But now while green flag pit stops are going on, we'll go back to the rundown of the points and we'll come back to the field once it's over. But right now, the 9 of Chief currently sitting second, 47 points back. Still with that 1 win, the opener. Cole Trickle in the 19 sits third, 55 out the leader and 8 points behind the 9 of Chief. Garv sits fourth, 60 behind the leader, Mark McAttack, as the leaders come down. Everybody else who has not stopped, this is their lap. These are the guys who want to stick with the 22. The 24 of Copenhagen. We'll see where he falls out. So I go back live on my stream here. We go back to the point standings. But Garv, speaking of, sits 60 points behind Mark McIntyre, 5 points behind Cole Trickle. Danny MD in the 77, 86 back. He sits 26 points behind Garv. Jay White, 88, 2 behind Danny MD. And now we see where the 24 falls. Is right now the race leader is the 77 who's on pit road currently. But we'll see. I think the 24's pit strategy worked out the way he wanted it to, as he assumes the race lead. Copenhagen, your leader now in Michigan after the first round of green flag stops. And is that the 78 of 19? Has a terrific pit cycle. He comes out in second. Mark McIntyre has dropped to the third position. The 9 drops to fifth. The 12 up to fourth. Band 1 comes out of all that in sixth. Doing work in the 62. He comes out behind the 8 of Band 1, but he's looking to try and get himself up into the 6th spot. But side by side down the backstretch is a battle for 6th. Up ahead, you see the battle for 3rd, and Mark McIntyre breaking away and able to stay ahead. The 62 and the 8 have settled it out. Garv runs behind them. That 15, he runs in the 8th spot. Starting to catch this group of 3. These guys need to get their numbers up. There's the 19 of Cole Trickle. And the 5 behind him of Team 95. With the 99 of Hootie Hoo. So 2 groups of 3. And now you see the lead pack up ahead starting to break apart. And the 22 getting shuffled out. He'll drop to 3rd. Or 4th. And now Mike drop all the way to 5th. He does. 13 laps to go here in stage 1. An unfamiliar territory for this 22. Normally up at the front. But right now just clinging on to a top 5 spot as he runs 5th. Meanwhile, the group of 3 behind him, Garv in the 15, moves up to the 6th position, gets by doing work in the 62. He thinks he can be the guy that can lead them back to the front. Right now, these guys up in the top 5, very comfortable with where they are at, willing to run with each other, let the 24 lead. Oh, as it appears, a couple of cars missed the entrance of pit road. That looked like the 77 who did, and the 3. Slingshot. And now you see the 24 willing to let everybody on by. Gonna go into a little bit of a fuel save mode, which might be also what the 22 is doing as well, willing to ride in the back of everybody. Taking a little bit of time for these guys to get by that 24, but as soon as they do, he'll drop to the bottom. Three car coming off the apron a little bit. Everybody quick to get around him. So now we wait for what is appearing to be the second round of green flag stops. 10 laps to go as they run here, stage one. Now you see the field very much spread out. We'll go back to the point standings while they run around. Copenhagen missing that one start, dropped him a ton in the point standings. Now 102 out of the lead right now. Even though he got that win against Mark at New Hampshire, still a huge loss. Luckily, though, it's still early, very early in the season. So he should be all right to make up some of that ground, especially with where he's running right now and how he's running. Sticking inside the top 5, leading a couple of laps. But Team 95 in the 5 sitting just behind him, 2 points away from the 24. 24 signals low. He's pitting this time. P. Fulton in that 18 car sits 5 points out away from Team 95. Hootie Hoo in the 99 sits 1 point out from P. Fulton. That's a battle for 9th. Hootie Hoo rounds out the top 10 in points. Dog Pound in the 41. Struggling a little bit outside the top 10. 14 points away from Hootie Hoo. Band 1 in the 8. Hanging back at 5 points behind. In the 12th spot, Slingshot in the 3 sits 1 point behind Band 1. In the 13th spot, 1-9 in the 78, who's in the field again tonight. That'll be a big help. Good run by him as we see the leaders now dip to the bottom. Already a couple have come down that last time by that I missed. As I keep closing out of the live stream, not accidentally. Here comes the 15. Or no, the 78. The 15 came down last time. See, we've seen the short pit work to get the 24 out in front. When will we see the leader, the 22 of Mark McAttack? He will come down this time, the last car to pit. Everybody else behind him has made their second stop and can make it to the end of the stage. We ride on with the 24. As I believe he will be the car that might be the leader at the end of this, as I'm taking just a harebrained guess at it. Right now, 5 to go. We'll see what all happens. The 22 now coming off of pit road. We'll see as the cars go by them. Ooh, it could be the 9 who's going by the 22 right now. It is actually the 12 of Who's Your Boy. Who's Your Boy looking for his first stage win? A big help that would be. As we got Sir Gillian's in the chat. Just finished up a race at Richmond yesterday where he got the win. Right now it's about these guys on track. And Who's Your Boy in the 12? Running with 3 to go. 2.5 more times around. He's got to stay ahead of that 9 car. Two laps to go as you see the 12 cross the line. And Mark McAtack comes out of all that in the 3rd position. Not going to see the stage points he's used to getting. I cannot actually tell you where the drivers run behind him. I think Copenhagen right now sits 4th. 1-9 will round out your top 5 as we got 1 lap to go in stage number 1. Who's Your Boy? He's got to get around one more time to get his first stage win of the season. The yellow flag would end the stage. So either way, as long as he just doesn't run out of gas, blow a tire, all that. Through turn 4 with a hood that looks battered and broken. Matters not to the 12. He comes through the tri-oval. Who's Your Boy will cross the line and win stage number 1. The 9 comes home 2nd. The 22, 3rd, 4th. It's the 24 and the 78. Comes home top 5. So the 9 of Chief, 22 Mark McAtack, the 24 Copenhagen, the 78 of 1-9. Sixth is Garv. 7th doing work. 8 Team 95. Band 1 9th. And JRC Indy rounds out the top 10. And now Who's Your Boy gonna be in that, potentially in that lead spot when they get down this yellow flag cycle. And it is the 12 of Who's Your Boy. The 9 of Chief gonna lead him to green. Lead him to green. And Who's Your Boy gets a good jump. Has him cleared, but the nose of the 9 still there. But the help from the inside gonna push the 12 to the lead. And look at the 3-4 wide that was happening. Turn 1 settles out to 2 by 2. Look at them all behind him. Mark McAtack surges to 2nd. The 24 Copenhagen trying to move up to 3rd. 78 of 1-9 trying to make his way up through the field as well. But look at the inside line and the momentum it has. Only 2 cars on the outside, but they're holding strong with the 9 of Chief leading. And now the 12 gonna make that car as wide as he possibly can. See the run coming from the 22 on the outside. He will not have enough room past the 24 to be able to slip underneath the 12. He tries it there, but the 12 quick to block. The 9 and the 24 still fight for third. There's the 62 on the outside. Doing work, holding strong with the guys underneath them. But now, quick to jump to the inside. Ooh, and the 62 forced out of line by the 15 Agar, or no, by the 8. Oh, 3 wide. Oh, no! Oh, the 38 around! And that's going to bring out the yellow. Yellow flag. JRC Indy goes for a ride. Gets caught in 3 wide. That did not work out. And now he sits at the back of the field. And who's your boy? Got to deal with another pit cycle. Will he be the one holding the lead at the end of it? No, it's a 19 of Cole Trickle. I don't think he came down. Think everybody else said, I think he stays out, and he inherits the lead. Him and the 12 leaning on each other as they go through the tri-oval. The 19 of Trickle breaks out to the lead. The 22 of Mark McAtack on his bumper with the 24 of Copenhagen behind him. 2 by 2 behind. Look at the field as they run. The 38 trying to make up the ground he lost. Oh, the 41, the 77 are around. 77 through the pits. 2-car incident. I don't know how we're scoring that. I don't know if it's going to be a race to the line, yellow, or if we're just going to let it run. Right now, we're still running. The 19 still up front with the 22 all over them. Everybody up at the front except for the 9 has kept their cars at the bottom. I think that's intentional. No, we stay green. These cars have not slowed down, so even though it was a 2-car incident, we stay under green. And unfortunate for the 77 who got sent down pit road. I think that might have done it for him. The 77 will not be there at the finish of this one. Cole Trickle, though, using some pit strategy early in stage 2 to skyrocket himself up to the pole to the lead. And he's doing a good job of hanging on to it. The 24 are going to look to the inside of Mark McAtack. The 15 of Garv going to look to go with him. And the 22 cooks it. And now here comes the 24. Copenhagen looks for the lead. He might have it. The 22 of Mark McAtack stuck on the outside, might be continuing to drop. Look how far back he goes. Oh boy, and they're getting squirrely in front of him. And look at the 38. Rebounding very well from his spin he had that brought out the most recent yellow. He's back not only inside the top 10, but looking to try and get himself in the top 5. Sits 6th. 7th, sorry. Now he sits 6th as he gets by the 62. Mark McAtack up to the 8th position. Not used to seeing the 22 back out this far. But if you know Mark McAtack, you do not plan on seeing him here long. But everybody goes up to the high side and leaves him out to dry. So he loses a spot to Team 95. Copenhagen, though, continues to lead with 1-9 running second. Garv in third. The 12 of Hoosier sits fourth. The 9 of Chief rounds out the top 5. The 38 of JRC Indy. And look at that 3-car. Slingshot Rodeo. Had a spin in stage 1. Right now runs in the 7th spot. But here comes Team 95 to his inside. And Chief looking to go underneath the 12 of Hoosier. Try and take away that 5th spot. And unfortunately, when you get left out high and dry, that just leaves you susceptible of being passed. Is now the 22 moving up, gets by not only the 62, but also the 3 of Slingshot. Doing work. Dropping all the way to the 9th position. Oh, stack up on the field. The 41 cuts up in front of the 24. Oh, dog pound. Look at what the 24 lost. Was leading, got stuck behind the lap car. He falls to 5th and farther back. The 78 over Cook's turn 1. Here comes Garv to the lead. Band 1 in the 8 comes down to make his green flag stop. Chief gonna try and peek to the inside of the 15. Can't make it stick. The 78 drops in line in 3rd. The 9 running the apron has help from the 78 of 1-9. They're going to go side by side into turn 1. 15 going to try and send it. See if he can hold it enough to keep the fight on with the 9. Side by side for the lead. The run to the 15 of Garv. He jumps in front of the 9. So he can't take the run. The 24 of Copenhagen trying to make up for lost time. Quick to get underneath the 78 of 1-9, and he'll move himself up to 3rd. And now takes a jump to the outside. Gonna see what he can do with the 9 of Chief. $15 of Garv trying to make that car as wide as possible. Here comes 1-9 to the 9's aid. Hoosier Boy sitting off in the distance inside the top 5. Sitting 5th. And to be fair, no idea what lap we're on. But we will see when they cross the line here. 11 to go. Here in stage number 2. Nine, 24, 12, 5, all signal that they're pitting. I think the 22 already came down. There he is, yes. Mark McAttack already has come down to pit road. And we'll see the 9, the 24, 12, 5, all shoot to the bottom. They come down pit road. As this ginormous group of cars comes off. The 22, 38, 62. Come out nose to tail. Mark, Indy, doing work. Oh, work in the grass. But the 78 and 15 stay out. Are they coming this time? Yes, they do. So we will run with the 22. And we'll see where he shakes out in all this. There are the drivers that just came down. This could potentially be for the race lead. We still have to wait for the 15. The 9, quick to jump up. Does not cut in front of the 22. JRC Indy and the 38 riding the tail. Mark McAtack, and you see everybody fill in behind him. Now we wait for the 78. 15, they're coming out now. There you see him in front of Mark McAtack. All signs point to Mark and even Indy potentially getting in front of that 15 of Garvin. They do as they go through turn 2. Garv from first all the way down to 5th. Mark McAtack in the 22 doing what Mark does. Finds himself back to the lead. The 41 this time quick to get up to the wall and out of the way of the leaders. And I just realized that I was muted. But look at the 38 of Indy. Getting up above, trying to make that high line work over the 62. The 24 and the 15 continue to break away from these guys as they go side by side. Meanwhile, those up at the front continue to draft. Now the 38 and 62 link up. As that looks like the 15 of Garv to the inside of Copenhagen as they come to 3 laps to go here in stage 1. Garv, or stage 2, sorry, I think I just said stage 1. But Garv right now finds himself in the catbird seat. The only problem is with such a high drafting track, susceptible to getting passed. And Garv looking for that stage point, that stage win, and the points that come with it to try and improve his running. As he sits fourth in points and has a mountain to climb to get to Mark McAttack. Only 5 points separate him and Cole Trickle in the 19, who's not in this top 5 bout. So a stage win for the 15, crucial for his points run. As this is the white flag, 1 lap to go in stage number 2. The 38 at JRC Indy, the 22 and the 12, all within a shot. 38, though, misses the bottom. That's going to allow Mark McAttack to his inside. The 24 Cope, though, jumps up. The 38 will get his draft, but now the 24 Cope quick to cut it off. And all the help goes with the 22 of Mark McAttack, but Garv stays out in front. And as they come out of turn 4, the 22 going to get underneath the 24. Not going to do anything to the 15. Garv, your stage winner in stage 2. Copenhagen, I think, held on for second. And he did. Mark McAttack finished third. Who's your boy in the 12? Fourth. JRC Indy, top 5 in stage 2. Chief, 6th. Team 95 finishing in 7th. Doing work 8th, 1-9, 9th, and Cole Trickle rounding out the top 10 here in stage number 2 as the drivers get set for the run to the checkered and the race for the win. Garv gonna lead him to green with a 24 Copenhagen to his outside. Get ready to see him go 3 wide into 1 as we're green flag. The final stage is underway. This is for the win. It was a pretty tame restart. Everybody quick to jump to the bottom. But now it's the backstretch, and everybody's going to be running for room here and finding their line of where would be best for them. The 5 of Team 95 trying to get underneath the 9 of Chief. And now he's through with the help of doing work on the 62. There's the 78 of 1-9. The 9 dropping like a stone. Here is Garv, leads them with what is 37 laps to go. JRC Indy with some help on the bottom might be looking to see if he can move his position up a couple of spots. And he is now underneath the 22 of Mark McAttack, Team 95, and doing work. Helping him out on the inside. Hoosier quick to go up with the 22. JRC gonna jump up and take a shot. Had to run. It goes nowhere, and he will have the time and the space to get himself back in line in third. When you got a shot, you got to take it. He tried to go underneath the 24 Cope. Cope quick to go down with him. And that's going to leave Garv alone. High and dry on the high side. Nobody up there with him. Move the 24 Copenhagen to the lead. And JRC Indy up to second. Team 95 having a great day now. He's up into the top 3. With help of the 22, the 38, and the 24. Quick to get back to the bottom, but not quick enough. The 38 wobbly into 3. That opens up the bottom. They're 3 wide for second. Now for third as Team 95 is through. Now they're 3 wide for fourth. There's going to be 3 wide until somebody gives up or they get too close. Oh, that was almost a crash. How they kept it straight. Ping-ponging off each other down into turn 1. They kept it going. And now look at the hornet's nest that's behind them, especially behind the 12 of Hoosier. Oh, the 38 gets punted up the track. That'll knock him even farther back. Jay White with a shot to the back of the 38. Now Hoosier finds himself in the top 5 again. And look at Jay White. He's now making his comeuppance here. As he did not have the start to the race he wanted. But the old saying is, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And right now he sits 6th. The 99 sits behind him of Hootie Hoo. A little too much sending it there into turn 1. Shoots him up the track through 2. Luckily the 15 quick to go with them as they try to keep their little draft partnership going. As back up at the front, the 22, Mark McAtack, tried to take a peek to the inside of Copenhagen, but the 5 gets pushed out. And he'll drop in between the 12 and the 16. And that's going to push out the 16 of Jay White as he didn't have anybody to go with him. And now Cope gets put out to the outside. The 22 going to go through. Not quite yet, though. The 24 is holding his own, but now the draft is kicked in, and now Mark McAtack inherits the lead. The 62 doing work up to second. The 5 trying to rebound. He's making his way back up through the field. And now finds himself back in the 4th spot. Here comes Hootie Hoo in the 99. Sitting top 5 right now. And then that is the 15 of Garv and the 78 of 19 behind him. Now Copenhagen to the inside of the 62 of doing work. Moving himself up to the 2nd spot. The 5 back up to 3rd. The 62 tried to fill a hole that's not there. He's up the track. 3 wide behind them. Oh, the 15, 78. Leaving the 15 only just enough room to get back in line. As Mark McAtack continues to lead the 99 all alone on an island. The 15 of Garv back up to the 4th position. Oh, the 99 getting split. He's up there with the 16. The 16 into the wall. As we see the 8 car come down pit road for his first green flag stop of stage 3. It's now, look at Team 95, finds himself in 2nd, getting by the 24 Cope. Oh, and left too much room at the bottom for the 24 Copenhagen to get to his inside. That moves the 24 back to the 2nd spot. Oh, the 5 tried to take a peek. Cope quick to cut the run down. And look at this, Team 95 finds himself back in the second spot as the 24 and the 62 come down for their green flag stop. As right now we have 26 laps to go. And it looks like, if you look behind, it looks like everybody signaled that they're coming down this time. We'll see who stays out. The 41 is the only car to not pit with this group, as Copenhagen now leaves the pits himself. And look at that empty track ahead of him. As the 62 had to have had a speeding penalty. He must have cooked it coming in, because he is miles away from Copenhagen after pitting on his bumper. And now we see where the 24 falls out with the rest of this field. It looks like he is a shoo-in for the race lead, but on an island by himself. A very big island, but on a draft track like Michigan. Right now, though, the only thing helping that 24 is that Mark McAtack does not have any help right now. The 15 of Garb does run third behind him, but look at the gap between them. Team 95 back here with the 78 of 19, the 12 of Hoosier, and the 99 of Hootie Hoo. These guys, the only ones with drafting help currently. Meanwhile, the 24's plan is working to perfection, as his pit crew got him out miles ahead of the 22. And it actually looks like that gap is starting to grow, but that could also be, I was going to say the 22 trying to back up to the 78, but it also looks, or the 15, but it looks like the 15 is trying to back up to the 5 in that group. '24 seriously up to about a quarter straightaway advantage over the 22 of Mark McAtack, as we got 23 laps to go. And the 5 of Team 95 and his group starting to catch up to the 15. The 8 was running fourth. Quick to get out of the line of those who's faster, but also might try to get himself back in line. He does, but not in enough time to catch that lead draft. So he'll be dropping off of these guys up at the lead, but now the 22 might be the one to drop back and catch this five car tandem behind him, so that way he can get to the 24 that much faster. Right now, ahead of the 15, Copenhagen, 2.3 seconds ahead. Mark McAtack is half a second ahead of this group. 21 laps to go. Be 20 when they cross the line this time. And the gap from the 15 to the 24. Shrinking as they run. Now you see the 22 backed up to the 15. Let off a lot going into turn number 3, and that allows the 15 to get to his bumper, and now you'll start seeing that gap really start to shrink. And no, the 15 gets shuffled out. The 5 of Team 95 gonna jump to third. Second and a half, just under. And they were on the back straightaway. Would help if I was live. 19 laps to go as they cross the line that time. You see the 24 though getting bigger out of their windshield as they draw ever closer to the 24 Copenhagen. They got plenty of time to get there. And what a job by the 5 of Team 95. Has not had the start to the season he was hoping for, but doing well right now to put himself right where he needs to be. Right now, sitting inside the top 10 in points, but only 8th. A great points day could jump him up a couple, actually a good amount of spots, as the difference between him and Cope only 2. But good to catch them up with the 16 of Jay White, who sits about 16 points ahead of them. Right now, the gap still continuing to draw ever closer. 17 laps to go. And there we go. It looks like the 22 might just be sniffing the 24's draft. And he is. This will bring them back within a shot of Copenhagen. What a job by Copenhagen, though. Gave himself the lead for a very solid 6-7 laps, and everybody going to be quick to go jump up high and leave the 24 down low. Or does the 5 have other plans? He goes low with the 24 Cope, leaving the 22 up by himself. And when you got a driver who's won 2 races this season and a bunch of guys in a line who some have won and some have none. 22 may be fast, but you want that win. And to get to it, you got to get by Mark McAttack. And look at this, the 5 going to be to the inside of Copenhagen as they go into turn 1. Side by side for the lead in the closing laps. 3 on the outside, 2 on the inside. It's a 3-4 now on the outside that prevails. The 24 Cope clear back to the lead, but the 22 not clear to second. The 5 still with him. And the 5 has the draft of the 24, keeping him in the fight. The 24 stays low. The 5 not able to clear. Actually, a good run by Mark McAttack and the 22 on the outside. And the 24, stays down long, too long. The 5 gonna shoot turn 3, the 24 down in the grass, the 22 down the grass. They come in for their final green flag stop. And Team 95 will lead his first lap of the day. Very conservative by the 24 Cope. Look how much time he lost to Mark McAttack. The 38 Excuse me, the 38 of JRC Indy down as well. The 3 of Slingshot. I want to say that's the 8. No, that is not the 8. Might be the 41. And it is. And the 16 down as well. Nice, we go back to the lead. Or at least not the lead, that's the 22. Just coming off. The leader's now down pit road. Now we jump back up to the 22, Mark McAttack, who has by miles gapped the 24, but this is also not good for the 22. We've seen this not work out so well. The 24 has the 8 behind him in the 38. But where will he fill out? As they're the leaders that just came down. There's the 78. Where's the 15? Oh, I believe he must have gotten a penalty. As now the 78 comes out. And Hill. Now look at these guys behind the 22. 10 laps. About 11 actually. 11 laps to go. 11 laps the rest of the field has to catch him. The 24 has the 5, has the 12. These guys have got to stay in line. No racing at this point if you want any chance of catching Mark McAttack. But he's positioned himself very well up in front. This time by, they'll see 10 laps to go. You see the 24 catching up to the 78 of 19. They will definitely be there, especially if 19 decides to just let off a little bit extra on the corners and allows them to get to his bumper. So that way they can really get this 4-car tandem going. And now the 24 is with the 78 of 19, the 5. Up out of the groove. In turn 3, now the leaders come down again. They need to make one more stop. The 5 choosing to run long. And the 8 along with them. I thought we were going to have enough to make it to the end. Could the 5 try and do that? He's only got to make it 9 more laps. And no, he does not. Mark McAttack now out of the pits. There's the 12, the 24 way back here with the 3 and the 41. The 12 of Hoosier, the 78 of 19, all that stands. Right now between Mark McAttack and the win, right now it's actually the 62 of doing work. Who is your race leader? And who's in second? Honestly, I can't tell you because there's not a car within miles of the 62. And he's going to keep it running. Like, I honestly have no clue where they're running except for the fact that the 62 of doing work is currently your race leader and is going to try and run it all the way to the end. Wish I could see the real timing and scoring for the top 5, but I just cannot. We have 7 laps to go. And 62, I really think, is going to try and stretch this one out to the end. As the 22 has been caught up by the 12 and the 78. I think it might be the 22 Mark McAtack sitting second. This might be second, third, fourth that we see in front of us right now. So out of these 2 guys running in this group, these 3 guys, one of them not going to be up here with me at the end of this. So we'll see how they finish. And we will see where this 62, if he can really stretch it to the end. And no, he does not. He comes down this time. The 24 is around Copenhagen. Oh no! And not how he wants it to end there. But now I think as the 22 goes by, he will assume the race lead. And he does. The 12 and the 78 running second and third. Hoosier. As they got 4 laps to go. This will be coming to 3 as they cross the line. 3 to go here at Michigan. The 5 behind. Not within a shot. He's got the 19 behind him. But still a great run for the 5 of Team 95. That's barring there might be a caution to rack the field up, but Mark McAtack is praying to the gods that that does not happen. As he's looking for the hat trick on the year and get that 3rd win. But he's got 2 other cars. Both do not have a win this season. The 78 looking to the inside of Hoosier. There's now 2 laps to go. Now the 78 in the catbird seat. It's all about planning your runs. He peeks to the inside of the 22. He gives him a nudge. The bump and run. The 12 gonna go with the 78. Mark McAtack gonna drop to 3rd. And white flag is out. 19mm leads it. And the 12 tried to peek to the outside. The 22 tries to get a run on him. He cannot. 19 gonna have to make that car as wide as possible. He's protecting the bottom. The 12 of Hoosier tries to get a run. This is the white flag lap. 19mm has planned it out perfectly. The 12 looks to the high side, but it is not enough. 19mm wins it in Michigan. And I think it's the 12 that came home second. Mark McAtack finishes 3rd. I want to say that's the order. The 5 finishing 4th. Chief a top 5. Hootie Hoo 6th. Slingshot in 7th. As the running order gone. 8th, Band 1, 9th, Garv. JRC Indy rounding out the top 10. As that is, 11th, doing work. Jay White 12th, Copenhagen 13th after the spin after leading a good portion of the day. Cole Trickle 14th, Dog Pound 15th, Pete Fulton 16th, and the 77 of MD rounds out the field. What a thriller we saw here today as we wait for the top 3 to join the booth as we get ready for post-race festivities. And what a job by 1-9. Put himself at the right position at the right time, made the move when he had the run. Did the old bump and run on the 22. Can't wait to hear from him. His first win on the year as well. Oh, that's what I did. Okay, now I see how I muted myself. I accidentally muted everything. So that's cool. I'm really hoping it wasn't for that long of a span of time. As we wait for the top 3, there's Mark McAttack.
Hey, how we doing, Walbridge?
Doing good.
Good. Let me get these 2 in here really quick.
Yeah, I had a section of the race that I had muted, but I don't think it was that long to make a difference.
Oh, you're good. No worries. All right, there we go. Okay, there's 1-9.
1-9
And
up
there's
in the
Hoosier.
booth here. And
All
there's
right, we got
Hoosier.
it.
All right, and I guess we're starting in unfamiliar territory. The man with 2 wins on the year was in line for a potential win today, but he'll have to settle with 3rd. Mark McAttack in the 22. I mean, you had it close. You were knocking on the door for a second, but walk me through that last lap and maybe something you could have done differently to hold the 78 of 1-9 off.
Yeah, it was tough for sure. You know, I knew when we came out for that final pit stop, I saw 1-9 and Hoosier were linked up right away, so I knew they were going to catch me, and then they were kind of just being patient and kind of sizing me up. With 2 to go, 1-9 gave me about the cleanest bump and run you could give me. He did a great job there. That was a very good move on his part. He's a very clean racer, so I do not mind it at all. It's nothing dirty at all, in my opinion. So we're all good there. It was 3 guys racing hard for a win, and well-deserving win to 1-9, who's been a very, very good driver to us, as well as Hoosier on a 2nd place and also got a stage win. Very happy with the race tonight and how everybody raced for the most part. I know we had incidences in the race, a little bit minor incidences, but overall very happy with it, and congrats to everybody again. But no, I don't really know what else I really could have done there. Being first, especially at a track like Michigan, it's kind of like a super speedway, if you will. Kind of just trying to do your best to hang on, but we'll take a top 3, and we will move on to Watkins Glen.
I was going to say, when you came out of the pits and you saw after that last green flag cycle that you had such a tremendous lead, but you were on an island by yourself, were you getting a little worried that maybe your pit stop was a little too good?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I knew I got out to about a little over a second lead over Hoosier, and then I saw he had 1-9 pushing him. So I knew the lead was going to be evaporated very quickly, but you know, you're in a tough spot there that you got to go hard and push it as hard as you can, and you know, it's a tough position to be in, but still, again, glad with the result, glad with the points stay overall, still pretty solid. And yeah, it's Michigan, man. It's a wild card, so again, congrats to everybody, and yeah, we'll see if we can get our third one of the season next week at Watkins Glen.
All right. Well, congratulations on a third place, brother. We look forward to seeing you. What is the next race, actually?
Watkins Glen.
Watkins Glen. Race. Oh, and that's a track that you were feeling really high on.
Yes.
All right. So we'll see how well you can do.
All right. I appreciate it, Walbridge. Thank you for all you do, bud.
Yes, sir. And that will move us on to second place, Hoosier. And I'm going to throw it back to Dover. Practice. You were saying, just keep talking. Just keep talking. You didn't have the run at Dover that you were expecting to have, but you come into Michigan, come in second, had a shot at the win. Do you kind of wish, though, at that last lap, you had an entire lap, do you wish you were kind of just a little bit more aggressive to try and get that win?
Well, I mean, with 2 laps to go, Walbridge gave me, or 1-9 gave me a little bit of bump going into the corner, and it moved me up, and he got free. So I just got underneath him, and when he did the same to Mark, I was like, okay, I'm going to do the same thing coming out of 4, and I did that, and I went to go underneath, and I just caught a little bit of his rear bumper with my right front, and I couldn't get underneath him, and it saved him. And so I thought it was a really good race. It was definitely fun. I was really excited about that last pit stop that was able to get out fast enough, and I saw him and I getting paired up, and I was sitting there just starting to do a little bit of math, and I was like, okay, we're going to run him down.
Yeah, and we saw. Yeah, and that was a terrific pit stop. You came out, but we saw that you were up to the field. Was there anything potentially that you could have done? Maybe tried to make that bump and run move a little sooner, or was this just the run?
No, I think maybe if I would have backed off a little bit more, or stuffed a little more on his with my front end on his rear end to have him slide up a little bit more. No, I don't think I could have done much better. He did the right thing, and he knew his car was going to move up a little bit, and I think he lifted a little bit, which kept his car in that line to where I was. And smart move. I mean, I would have done the same thing, protect that inside line as much as possible. I thought maybe we could have, Mark could have given me a little bit of shove at the end, but we're all three competing for that, getting to that line. So I thought it was good racing. And like I put in the bio, man, today is all about staying with the draft and clean pit stops. And you saw there was a couple people in that last pit stop that ended up having penalties and things like that, and that took them out of the running. So, as long as you just stay in the draft, stay with that lead group the entire time, and then executed your pit stops. And also, the stage 1 win, I just took a splash and went out, and I was able to get the stage win. It got me out 2 seconds in front, and I had enough time to be able to cap that one off. It would have been nice to get a win, but after the chaos of last week, this is a good bounce back.
All right, well, hey, congratulations on the second place, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what you put up next week.
Yeah, I appreciate. I'm fairly good at that one. It's all right. I don't have probably the speed that there are a couple other drivers out there, but I think let's get another top 5 out of there. A win would be if I get a top 3, but I want to say thank you to Mark McAtack for running a great league. Congratulations, 1-9 on your win, and Walbridge, this is awesome, and I love listening to your commentary.
Thanks, brother. Can't wait to see you next week.
Yes, sir.
And now that moves us on to the winner. Made the move of the race with a bump and run on no one other than Mark McAtack. Coming to the white flag, the 78 of 19 millimeter. Walk me through that last lap and that whole plan you had going on, and really just your ability to keep everybody behind you and kill off every run that they threw.
Yeah, first of all, hell yeah. I don't get too excited too often. But I've been racing against Mark a long time, and it's nice to finally get in front of him one time in 2 years. So, no, it was a great race. I thought a lot of give and take, and that's the key to this. A lot of give, and to me tonight I had to focus on the pits. That to me was the most important thing, of not hitting somebody or getting hit, getting yourself in a position not to get hit, which isn't intentional, but it's hard pitting coming down that 55 when you're cruising in there. But No, my car was good. It was good for the long run too, and it's everybody here with the draft. I think there was more give and take than I've seen in a lot of races, and that's a lot of respect here. Hoosier, especially. I think he and I hadn't raced much together, but a lot of give and take, and that's what it takes to get there. If you don't have you're only as good as the buddy pushing you. So, and I appreciate Mark invite me in the league, and I've had a rough couple weeks personally, and missed last week, and just glad to be here tonight and get this win, and I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, and you said in pre-race that pitting was going to be the number one concern. Was that like the number one goal? It's like, I don't care how I run, I'm just making sure I don't mess up pit road?
You got it. No speeding penalties, and didn't want to hit anybody. That's the key. If I get hit, it is what it is. I just didn't want to touch anybody pitting. That's not easy.
Yeah, I just want to. So, what was the emotion when you crossed that line and got that win? Was it like screaming and yelling, or?
I did a hell yeah. I don't do bump and runs like that. Mark was about a half car up, and I was like, well, I'm going to stick it in here. If I hit this apron and take us both out, well, I'll be dealing with that. But it didn't, and it chucked up enough. That wasn't the intention. I'd rather get up on a door before I do that. But then in Hoosier, I thought he was going to make a move sooner. If he had made a move, I'd have gone with him, but he didn't, and that's why I got under Hoosier first. Same scenario, like you said. By all means, if somebody gets out of shape, I'll let him back in. But I thought for sure I was a sitting duck then. I was like, well, I went in the turn, and I did lift a little Hoosier to keep it down there as low as I could, but you had to run. It was just good driving by everybody.
Yeah, and I know that we got the road course up next of Watkins Glen. As we go into that track, how are we feeling about potentially having another good run at the road course?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. I got a mentor that's educating me a little bit right now. So my times are embarrassing, but I think if I work on it this week, I think I can at least get up in the top 5. That's my goal, is the top 5 at the Glen. I'll be happy with that.
All right, well, hey, man, congratulations on the first win of the season. Hopefully we can see you up here a lot more, but we'll let you go celebrate this one.
Hell yeah, and thank you, Walbridge. Enjoy listening to your broadcast, as always.
Yes, sir. That will do it here for what was an eventful Michigan pit strategy coming into play, and inevitably a little bit of short track racing on a drafting track is the deciding factor from first to third. And that will do it for me up here in the booth. I want to thank everybody here for watching. I want to thank everybody who likes and subscribes. If you liked what you see, please do so. Help support the league. This league is tremendous. The drivers in here are fantastic. But that will do it for us here tonight on Tuesday. We'll go live next Tuesday again at 9. So be there, be square. But for me, it's a good night.